Oh man, I'm still a little froggy. Hey there, boomers and you Gen Xers out there, all you retiring, soon to be retired, and retired people looking for something to do in the creative field. I'm Rusty Nelson, your college art professor, and we're talking watercolor today. My students have been sick up at the university, and right before Thanksgiving, they gave me the bug, the thing that they've been fighting and passing around amongst themselves. And so I came down with it. I'm still fighting it. It's landed. It was one of those things that you get. I never felt bad. It's just that it landed in my throat and it's right here in my chest. And I've been coughing up long cookies and have a froggy voice for the last 2 weeks, going on 3 weeks now. So just as long as it doesn't get infected, I think I'm all right. I should be able to work my way through it. So I've been working through a lot of cough drops and just hacking around and annoying people when we're in public. So let's see here. What has been going on? I have a ton of notes I've been making. Been working on my kind of my 2025 review and kind of sitting down and making some plans and thinking about what I want to get accomplished in 2026, what I'll be able to, depending upon what happens with our transition back to Kansas. So in about a year, actually, I'm retiring first. My wife's a couple years younger than I am, so she's going to work for another 6 months after I retire. So about this time next year, she's going to be retiring, and I'll be retiring this coming May. So we have a lot of changes and things that will be taking place in our lives. So hopefully, that's one of my main goals for the channel, is to keep it up and running as we make this transition. Getting a house sold. We've already kind of made the initial steps, and we're moving back into the area where both my wife and I are from. We're from the same county. Actually, we went to high school together. So we've been married for almost 44 years. It'll be 44 years in May. And so, yeah, and we were married pretty young. So we tell our friends, in and around here, people we've just met, that we're high school sweethearts and everything. And I always tell them I found the only girl in the county that I wasn't related to, and decided to marry her. It's not too far off. That's pretty close to truth. So anyway, let's see here. I don't know why I went down that rabbit hole. Let's look here. Yeah, been doing a review of 2025 turned out to be a lot more of a challenge than I thought. I think it's, I've done pretty well on the channel. I've been happy with the progress the channel has made, and it's done better than 2024, although it's a slightly better, not a light year leap better than 2024. So I do feel like I'm still working on a lot of fundamentals on at least being on camera and figuring out good ways of doing the demos and my camera work, my editing, all of that stuff has improved. I've improved technology this year, mainly because I had to, but it's given me some new things to learn as well. And I do like the direction of the ease that it brought into the process. But I still think there's a lot of improvement that I'm working on and trying to get better at. So not only just my delivery, but the type of topics, and then the type of lessons that would be appealing to people. So, and looking back on the analytics, I think that's been an interesting thing too. So I now have 2 years of data on the types of tutorials, and it is a little bit all over the place depending upon the tutorial, and then trying to figure out why each one that did well, why it did well. So yeah, I've been working on that. It's evidently very clear that the primary topics that get the most views and most clicks are things about drawing faces and figures and people. So there is definitely a desire out there for people to learn. And it's an understandable desire too, in that being able to draw a person is kind of seen, I think people see it as a means of validating their time spent going into doing something creative. It simply is something hard, and I think people are looking for that thing to master and to get good at. But you do have to kind of ask yourself when you're getting into working with doing something creative, what's your motivations going into it. Some people have that exact motivation. They want to draw people and get really good at it. So, but that's not the only reason to draw and to paint and this and that. There's all sorts of good reasons for getting into it. And hopefully I'll be able to provide some of the lessons and the things that you can work on, kind of guide you in the direction that you need to work on. Get outside of your existing mindset, get outside your box. The things you might want to do might be beneficial to do something over in this area rather than just right here on that one thing that you're working on. So there's all sorts of things you can do to get going with watercolor and drawing. I started the channel out as a watercolor channel. That's initially what I thought the whole point and purpose of what I'd be doing here. And it was that one fluke video. It was I needed to create a video, and that's been over a year now that I sat down and did that Loomis demo. And it was something I was pulling, off of the top of my head. I didn't do any prep work for it. I shot it in about 20 minutes and put it out there, and it went bananas. I apparently had processed enough of the information from Loomis to give a pretty good demo on it and make it understandable for people. So that's one thing I'm thinking about doing coming up soon is I have the Loomis books. So I'm thinking of maybe doing a deep dive into Loomis and walk through it, maybe page by page, chapter by chapter, and see all the techniques and the things, or at least try to extract what he's trying to tell you. Because I don't think he's in those books, he's definitely not telling you that you always have to use the guides and the methods so heavily. It's really something I think he's given this structure, this method to people who are trying to learn how to draw like he did. And because he could draw the figure, he was a former illustrator and went into education and was teaching it. So he figured out as an educator how to teach people to get to that point where you don't use it that much. You've internalized it. You have brought all of those guides and reference points and everything into your mind, into your brain, and you've internalized it to a point when you sit down and draw, it's just going to be there in what you draw. And you don't always have to have those guides, but it's necessary when you're first learning it so you can learn to get the proportions right, develop that eye that you have to draw a figure in position, in the right angles, with the right foreshortening, with the hands that look like hands and fingers instead of little claws and mittens and things like that. So it is a good method. It's just that's not what he's telling you have to do. You don't have to use it religiously and so structurally that it gets in the way. So, but it's there for you as you're learning to grow and to get past it and to internalize the information so that when you sit down to draw a figure, you can do it just by simply looking and using relative position and things like that. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking. That sounds like an interesting series. Yeah, it's clickbait, I think. It's we were talking about this last week about Loomis is really good for clicks, right? So I'm playing that game on YouTube as well. But the cool thing is I like drawing faces. I've always liked drawing people. It's only been in the last 10, 15 years I kind of transitioned away from doing a lot of people and started working more and more with landscapes and architecture and scenes and things like that using watercolor. But I never, well, I was able to draw a decent person without necessarily getting heavily invested in Loomis or any of the methods going on. So I always had a pretty good eye for proportion and shapes to be able to draw people. But I will admit, using Loomis and learning Loomis, And I really only got into Loomis pretty heavily once I was tasked with teaching figure drawing up at the university. So, and when I started teaching up at the university figure drawing classes, I hadn't been in a figure drawing class in probably about 15 years. And all I could do was kind of reach back into my past when I took my figure drawing class. And that's probably typically about all people, typical art majors will take is one figure drawing class in college. So that's where I kind of reached back into my past and mimicked what they had done with me in my figure drawing class. And I quickly realized that it wasn't enough of, at least from what I remembered, that we were required to do in that figure drawing class. So I'm definitely a beneficiary of learning Loomis to be able to then teach students in class how to draw the figure. And it works. It's successful. Students do a better job in a figure drawing class if they do learn the fundamentals of Loomis and then just practice the hell out of poses and do all of the things that create that muscle memory, that hand-eye coordination and things like that. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing coming up this coming year. So yeah, I'm sitting down working on plans for 2026. I'd like to expand out and do a whole lot of different things other than just the sit in my studio type things that I've been doing for 2025. Been just kind of hanging on by my fingernails for 2025, trying to get make sure I get videos out there for everybody. I did have to kind of scale back a little bit in 2025. So hopefully with 2026 coming up, we can either at least maintain the pace and the type of videos out there, maybe do some different things, and maybe increase the pace of some of the things. I still do want to do some live sessions with streaming. And like I said, I'm going to try to get some things done with streaming before the end of 2025. So you can see that's going to be happening pretty quick, and then expand upon it in 2026. So I do have a face watercolor demo coming up. I've been watching some very good Chinese watercolor portrait artists out there on YouTube and Instagram. So I'm trying out one of their techniques with a lot of wet on wet. For me, that's kind of if I have a weakness with my watercolor, I don't think I utilize and develop my wet on wet enough. So that's one of the things I'm going to work and try to improve upon as well. I'm more of a, that 3-stage thing, and then do a lot of glazing. I definitely use the glazing to get the saturation right. So I need to practice getting the saturation more dense in the early stage, the wet on wet stage, and then I think that'll be something good. And this watercolor portrait technique is doing just that. So look for that. That's coming up. So, well, that's really about everything I had to kind of talk about. I went down some rabbit holes here for you. So, hey, if you got any value out of today's talk, give me a like and a subscribe. Drop me some comments. Share this out to somebody you know that might be interested in getting started drawing and painting with watercolor. Give them something to do in retirement. That's what I'm here to do, to help. So get them directed to this channel. Head into my video description. I have links out there for supplies and equipment. It'll kick you over to Amazon. They're affiliate links. If you buy anything with those, I'll get a small commission. I do have free downloads on figure drawing, face drawing, Loomis method, Riley method, Bridgman, and I think there's even some design elements and principle information out there as well. And if you think I'm doing anything on the channel that's worthy of your support, please head over to Patreon, give me a $5 a month membership, and I have 2 digital products on Gumroad, 15-week beginner to intermediate. I have a calendar of projects, 15 weeks of projects that I work my students through from beginning to end. And then the other is an expanded version of that with kind of more of a syllabus feel. It's a multiple page PDF with videos to watch and then exercises and projects to do. So get out there and buy those. All of those things will help the channel immensely. I do appreciate everybody watching. You returners, my devoted 200, thank you for watching. And all you new people coming into the channel, thanks for watching as well. And I'll see you in the next Talking Watercolor.